Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. So great to be here with you today. And for our time today, I was thinking about just thinking. I've been listening to some videos. I really like when I wake up in the middle of the night and am just wide awake, but not quite awake enough to get up and do anything. I love just putting my headphones on and listening to videos, meditation videos mainly, but some of them are discourses, many talks by different people that I like a lot. Muji, we've talked about, is one of them, and there are a few others, but one of them that I've been listening to a lot that has been so helpful to me throughout the rest of my day was talking about, um, it's not quite related to what I'm going to talk about, so I'm not going to go into the video too much, but um, basically for our time today, I wanted to focus us in again on taking no thought. Our meditation time is our gymnasium workout for our mind, for our attention, because our awareness, our decisions, our state of mind follows what we're putting our attention on. So in our meditation time, we're practicing putting our attention on something, whether it's our bodies, our center, our breath, a word, an image. We're practicing bringing our attention to that place of focus for ourselves. And what happens during the rest of the day is that our minds are going and they pull us into different directions. If we have a fear about something, all we have to do is just have a little tiny thought about that fear, and then it becomes bigger in our minds because our attention follows it and then builds on it and worries about it and tosses it around and well, I could do this and then that would help me feel better, but no, I'm still afraid of it, or I'm still anxious about it, or or there's somebody that we're having an issue with. Perhaps we're angry at them. So just the thought of their name or somebody mentioning them or we see them will trigger that thought process because that there's unresolved energy there in that anger. And so that the mind taps into that when it's triggered by the image of that person that we have feelings about. So our attention then goes there and it builds and builds. Oh, I'm so angry with them. I know I have to let this go, but I'm still so angry, and just tosses it around all in there. And we've practiced before fairly recently the just the simple statement, take no thought, take no thought. And we can do that during the day as well. Take no thought. Something triggers us, something touches into emotion within us. And if we just step back and just take no thought in that moment, take no thought, take a few breaths, we can let it go and see the truth that this really isn't affecting us at all. We may have more work to do on that fear or that person that's causing angst within us in that moment, but we can step back at least for a brief moment and see this is not affecting me. This has no impact or influence over my life. Not really. Emotionally, it does right now because I've got work to do, but it doesn't really affect anything in my world. It really doesn't. And we can say that and push it to the side, but we really are still carrying around all those emotions, which is just going to trigger it again down the road. But which is a different, we can talk about that another time, but that's not what we do during our Monday morning meditations. We're here about meditation. We're here about stepping back and taking no thought. The processing part is a whole different ballgame, right? The processing can mean we have to journal about it. What is my fear? What is it? What is it impelling me to do? Our fear makes us, any kind of unresolved emotion makes us act in a certain way so that we can avoid that emotion. Of course, it doesn't work, But that's what our mind tries to do. It's like I just want to get away from this uncomfortable feeling, so I'm going to act and do something over here, and then that doesn't really work. So the mind goes us takes us to the next thing to try to get away from that unresolved emotion, and that doesn't work either. So we eventually have to just sit with that emotion and say, okay, what the heck is going on inside of me? What is the emotion I'm feeling? What do I need to forgive somebody? Do I need to forgive, release? Do I need to forgive myself? Do I need to, what do I need to do with the fear or something we feel worried or anxious about? What do I need to do to calm myself down? Sometimes we can just let it go. Other times it needs more work. And one of these days, I hope to do some online classes again. I don't know. We'll see. I've got other projects on my plate right now, but that's the kind of stuff I love to do and talk about the processing of those feelings. So, putting all that aside, because we are here today to practice taking no thought when something comes up, taking no thought. Here comes the trigger or the emotional thing or the exciting thing or something that's coming up and trying to compete for our attention. And our job for our meditation time is to bring it back to one focus. Whatever it is we want to focus on. It can be our breath, it can be body part, our center, it can be an affirmation, it can be an image that you hold, it can be an eye position straight ahead on the wall in front of you, on something that is in front of you that you can just lose yourself in, because it's not about seeing the thing when we're focusing on something with our eyes open. It's about parking those eyes. We talked about that last week. So we're going to just take no thought and focus on, we're going to focus on just being present, being one pointed in our mind. So I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths to let your mind body system know that it's time to relax and be still. Just breathe in fully, filling that belly, and breathe it all out, pulling that belly towards the spine. Breathing in, filling the belly, filling the lungs. Breathing out, pushing all that air out. Now just focus on your calm, natural breath. And make sure that that calm breath is still a full natural breath versus a shallow natural breath. That's why we use our quick breath counting, breathing in to the count of 4, and breathing out to the count of 4. It just allows those breaths to be full enough to calm the body. When the breath is calm, the mind is calm. When the body is calm, the mind is calm. The calm mind helps calm the body, helps calm the breath. It's all interconnected. And even if the mind is calm, the attention can be jumpy, where how our attention goes, whether it's like a rabbit listening for sounds around it, turning its little ears toward whatever sound it hears. The attention can be like that as well. And jumping into conversation about whatever it hears. So we just want to notice that attention effect. And bring our attention back to the breath. We're using the very brief affirmation again today. Take no thought. Take no thought. And we bring that attention back to our center, our breath. Focusing on the breath can sometimes naturally take us to that center of the heart. That heart area that includes the lungs and solar plexus, that whole area. We can use that as our inner room where we rest and be still. Letting anything in the world go on around us. And first, as the body continues to relax, melt into the chair you're sitting in, just notice what the mind is doing. Just notice it right now. Notice what it's thinking about. Notice its energy level, if it's antsy or calm. On a scale of 1 to 10, how distractible is that attention right now? 1 meaning not at all, 10 meaning very, very distracted. It's okay. It's not judging. We're just noticing, making an observation so that we can support bringing that attention to the breath in that center. And we take no thought. We take no thought. We just let them float on by. Take no thought. Take no thought. Like we're unplugging the wires of the mind from whatever is coming up from us and plugging those wires into that center, into that breath. Take no thought. I invite you to say that within yourself as well, as needed. When a thought comes up that's vying for your attention, just gently say, take no thought, and return to your center. And take no thought, even the little thoughts that seem harmless. We're just letting those go as well. Take no thought. The mind is so used to its role as problem solving, allowing the attention to wrestle around with a situation until we find the solution. And that can be a very good use of our mind. But other times, that wrestling match becomes a tournament that goes on and on and on. And being able to step back and let something go is just as important, if not more, than being able to figure out a solution. Because when we step back, we have a wider perspective, and there's space for the answer to come forth. Whereas in our mind, it's maybe such a small place to try to solve a problem. So we take no thought not to render our minds useless, but to broaden our perspective, broaden our intake. So if you can be in your meditation space longer this morning, taking no thought, I invite you to do so. If you need to go about your day, just take a couple of deep breaths without thought, just breath. And know that your attention and focus muscle has been worked out, exercise today. And I invite you to practice, just out of curiosity, do experiments with taking no thought throughout your day, throughout your week. Putting that affirmation, that short little powerful affirmation into play in some situation that comes up for you. Or if your day is like most of ours, then there's plenty of opportunities during the day to step back and take no thought. And just be curious to see what will come forth. But taking no thought, allowing no emotional hamster wheel be in effect. Taking no thought, letting things be. They always work out. And yes, we have a role to play many times, but we can do that from that wider perspective without thought, without diving into it in our mind. So let me know how that goes for you. I'd love to hear about that. Thank you for being here with me today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful week.